Good morning, good afternoon, and welcome. This is another session of Beast, of San Francisco by Night. Today, we find Alex and Perrin together, or at least we will find them together fairly soon. For now, however, there is just Perrin sitting peacefully in his shop, um, twirling about a small ivory flower as he looks into the back of his shop through the door, thinking, watching, waiting. Plans have been set in motion.
Alex kind of comes into this shop.
He will look up. If you haven't been in the shop recently, you'll notice changes to it. The shop has a much more peaceful vibe to it. It is covered in ivy, blooming ivy to be more specific, and has small pools of water in each corner. A vast bookstand containing all his warehouse deals still remains, though it is slightly smaller nowadays. And to its side, the teapot still is on full display. However, other than that, the front of the shop has gone under significant redesign. Perrin will look up and give a smile and go, "Ah, Miss Alex, I believe. Yes?
Yes, we met before.
Several times, if I'm not mistaken."
Yes. She comes
Thinks for a moment and goes, "I'm guessing you're here to talk about Jiminy, Jacob, Jaharo. What's his name?
Jason.
Jason. Yes, him.
She nods.
You know he's a werewolf."
She narrows her eyes and nods.
"Well, you knew that?
She shakes her head.
Well, now you know.
She nods again.
As you know, as I say, well, they used to say, I haven't been up to date in TV recently, but they used to say, knowing is half the battle. G.I. Joe."
I need silver. Brass knuckle.
Yes, you probably do. Lots of silver.
I want a silver brass knuckle from you. Like I did in the past, but a better one.
I can probably get that for you.
Can you make it spiked so it just. Or like. Actually. You know. Have you ever played Fallout 4?
Are you asking Perrin?
Yeah.
Or Perrin will blink and go, I've played that, but that's a mighty old game.
It is.
How have you played that? I don't even think any of the current technology supports that.
I collected other technology in the past.
Interesting. Very interesting.
No, there are like brawl weapons.
Nod slowly.
I would
Are
be
you
very
asking
happy.
for a power fist?
Well, power fist is a bit, I rather something sharp with the power fist. Something that would make the skin crumble, not bludgeoning. I want piercing.
I mean, it's easy enough, but
Expensive. I will pay for it. It's fine.
oh no, that's not what I was going to get at. My question is, do you have experience with weaponry? Or must this be something that you can use simply with your fists?
Fists. I'm not
Not
trained in
truly.
melee weapons.
As he starts sketching something up,
Hmm.
he's going to ask you, will you need this simply for a night, or will you need it a more permanent item?
More permanent item will be better. The enemy
Not
uses
that
this,
that
and we have a lot of enemies. To be honest,
something
if you can make it also be able to shoot things, that would be cool.
takes note of that and puts it down, notes that down, and goes, well, I was going to say probably a couple days, but if you want to be combined into a firearm, that's going to take a bit longer since it has to have different switching sequences.
Then we can ignore the firearms for now.
Right? So you want hidden gauntlets with hidden blades. Shouldn't be too difficult. Do you want
Would
these
it be
blades retractable?
no? Actually, the gauntlets that I want to have is like power fists. You know what I mean? It should just give me that ability to punch something through. Like I can already do that. It's fine, but I want more.
You want power fist, which very well.
But it's
Which
also
brings a
like
couple of other notes.
I want the power fist to be able to, do not a bludgeoning damage, but a piercing damage, if you know what I mean.
Understandable. You want
Like a power fist that has a knife on it.
yes, yes. I've seen that design before. A JK Ares enforcer um enforcer glove gauntlet. I can
Mhm.
make something like that simple enough. However, the real question is, do you want to be able to use your hands for other things during this period?
I think I can still grapple things, right? While I do that, my usual ability is grappling, and
With
if I can,
Ares Claw, normally not. If you want to be able to grab and handle things with any sense of dexterity, I would have to make severe modifications.
what is an Ares claw?
An Ares Claw is think the best way to describe them is they are a lot like what you describe in Fallout 4 Power Fists. They are gauntlets that you cybernetic enforcement um, gauntlets that you can place on your hands. However, to use them properly and to activate the power fist, there's a bar within the gauntlets that you squeeze with your own fist to
Hmm.
send out the gauntlet. That being said, that same bar also blocks the hand from any severe movement.
So I won't
I
be able
can
to use guns.
no,
I
not
won't be
while
able
it's
to
equipped.
use computers.
You will not be able to use anything with a base Ares claw. I can make one that's a bit more complex and will allow you to easier handle stuff,
Mm-hmm.
but it'll be
More
more
costly.
expensive. Of course, if you ask for a simple, of course, with a simple, um, with any um, knuckle dusters worth their salt, you are facing the same problems you would face with the Ares. Restricted hand movements due
Yeah.
to, well, a knuckle duster.
I think a knuckle
However,
duster is
if you
kind of
are
lame
looking
near a power fist, right?
what
A knuckle duster is quite lame near a power fist.
shrugs and goes, different expenses. Knuckle fi- a knuckle duster is a simplistic weapon. However, at the same time, it being simplistic, it has less chance of breaking or malfunctioning. What I believe you would rather have are retractable bla- blades that you can use in addition to your own fists. They would be gauntlets, but they would leave your hands, or they would be not so much gauntlets, but rather I'm trying to remember the right word. Um, Cuffs around your wrists. They would leave most of your hands free. But a should you make a motion with them, they would send out spikes.
Hmm. Okay, that would be cool. How much I need to pay this for you? And the spikes needs to be silver, so
Well, silver isn't exactly the hardest or most durable weapon. I would have to chemically treat it. Plus, there's the mechanism itself involved, plus a triggering sequence. Plus, given that you're using these in battle, I would have to make sure they're reinforced. Um,
mhm. R- Resources 4. She gives
yeah,
credit that resources 4 can
yes, resources
give.
for this.
Mhm. She nods, and
I can get it back to you in about, oh, let's go with 10 days.
Alex nods. Would this be 2 or 1? For both hands or one hand?
Blinks and goes, well, while I was while I was calculating out for one hand, was also picturing the time was for two. So I guess I'll, given the particular use you're most likely going to be using these for, and the fact that we are in the same field of work, I will make two for the price of one.
I will give you the skin of the werewolf. Maybe you will make a coat out of it. I see that you enjoy.
wrinkles his
Oh.
nose and goes, "You do realize werewolves change back to human when you kill them."
Ah, that's a sad thing. Maybe we can skin him alive.
Still would change back to human flesh, most likely, but stuff by the time the fur departs from his skin. But who knows?
Well, it's a werewolf. I don't think I can handle it on my own. Or I'm not powerful enough to handle it myself.
Well, when you're facing a werewolf, you know the best way to deal with the werewolf. Throw another
So,
werewolf at it.
I kind of lack the werewolf ricochets at the moment. That's why I bought a lot of
Well,
silver.
I know at least one werewolf
Riker.
stops. He goes, perhaps two that are willing
Well,
to help, may be willing to help with the right
who are
incentive.
those?
What?
Who are those?
Well, you said one of them. Riker, of course. The other one is out of character. You were at the masquerade, right?
Mm-hmm.
I will go, well, the other one I'm sure you noticed already. Think back. What would be held in silver chains?
Yeah, her.
Exactly,
Valentine's
her.
girl.
I know you and Valentine have a certain rapport.
She's cool. I respect her.
If you can draw on that, you may have another werewolf. Of course, this all depends on you finding this man, of course.
That is quite true. I got Cassandra on the case.
Well, hopefully she can turn up something. Quite curious to see who he's working for.
Pardon?
The man is clearly working for someone else.
Hmm.
I only heard bits and pieces of his conversation, but that's enough. Something enough I can draw from. Perhaps if I go to that job interview he offered me, I'll find more.
What do you mean?
Well, he offered me a job interview.
What
He
job
seems
interview?
quite interested in me.
He said that he's interested in you?
Gives a small shrug. What can I say? I'm a charming son of a bitch.
Yeah, that is quite correct, Perun. But I used to be his lover, and shit didn't went well for me. It was terrifying. He put me in the pit without hesitation.
Well, no offense, but I'm a lot harder to pin down than you.
Really?
Gives a small smile and goes, perhaps.
I was not myself when he pinned me down.
Gives a small shrug. Well, no one is ever truly themselves. We're always changing, always adapting, always growing forwards.
That is quite correct.
The same, you are not the same from the you from yesterday. I'm not the same from the me that was yesterday. Hell, because he'll point to just out the window at a random person passing by. He is not the same as the person he was 5 minutes ago. Time changes all. Time rewrites all.
You talked about deals in the past, magical deals.
But the
I
offer
want to
still
kill
stands.
this. I want to kill this son of a bitch. And I want anything I can get to kill him.
Oh, you want power. You want to grow. You want
Yes.
to evolve. I can see that happening. I could see to it. I can invest upon you, grant you growth within your own fields, or perhaps even br- branch you out, offer you new things, power beyond your limited scope. It all depends on what you all want. And of course, he leans forwards and goes, what you're offering. The weird must remain balanced, but even more so, I must have guarantees that this power will not be turned against me.
It's a werewolf. They have a bunch of weird shit. I know you're interested in the weird shit.
There's his eyebrow. For a tale of items known as fetishes, unique
Magical items.
items they create. Very well. I will invest upon you. I will draw upon your own. I will offer you this deal. Leaning forwards.
Hmm.
I will connect with your own primordial self, your dream. I've read about, to a limited manner, of what beasts are, what your kind are. I will touch upon that. I will use the weird to guide me, of course. I will draw in a little into myself and throw and twist it, rewrite it back upon you. I will see you grow. But in return, I ask you this. Should you be presented with the options, should you be presented with um, the chance to gain items of interest, items of that are not of the mortal world, you will give me a chance to buy them from you for a reasonable price, of course. And they have to be, of course, in your particular possession. I will not
Yeah.
expect you to go out of your way to gather these items, but should you come across them. However, like all things, there's a promise, a break, a balance to be made. I will grant these powers for a year and a day. However, should you fail to keep your promise, there must be a cost. There must be a sanction. So tell me, love, what are you willing to offer?
If I don't this, I may die. I may get killed by this person. What you ask is reasonable to me. I don't think I will have any problem coming to you about the things I find. I don't need those. I don't need a lot of fetishes. I just want to kill this man more. So, if I go there without these powers, I will die. Probably.
Then poetic justice. Offer up your life for these powers.
She nods.
Very well. Is about to shake your hand, but stops for a sec and seems to get an idea. As he'll say, "Come with me for a moment."
She does.
He'll lead you towards the back. However, he'll close the back door stands open, but instead of just simply walking in, he'll close the door, hold it shut for a moment, then open it again. As he'll say, "Wait right here," and he'll walk in. If you glance inside, you won't see the back of his shop like you normally do, but rather what seems to be almost like a Victorian hallway with or entrance with a low hanging light made out of vines blooming into these upturned glowing flowers. Everything here seems to be made from twisting vines and glowing luminescence. He'll step in, say, "One moment, please," and then shut the door. He'll be gone for about 5 minutes. Are you going to do anything?
No.
All right. He'll come back, walk back out, shut the door. Then he'll come back out with a little bundle underneath him. Shut the door. Wait 5 seconds before opening again to reveal the back of the warehouse like before. Stroll over with this little bundle, unwrapping it, and place it down in front of him. And say, "We will swear upon this." And it looks to be it looks like it's a crafted sword, some sort of sword made out. It looks to your eyes just like a normal, finely made sword. The metal looks a little bit more shiny than it should. A little bit more reflective, maybe smoother. The gems in the hilt look a little bit more expensive, but otherwise seems like a normal longsword. He'll place it down in front of you and say, "Lay your hand on this."
To make a recap, she says, I will gain powers. My bee's powers will become more powerful.
The dream within you will grow. You will gain access to abilities you did not have before. What those abilities are, I cannot truly say, for only your own true self and the weird can guide you in that. In return, I will draw in a piece of your primordial dream as compensation, expecting upon you in addition to a contract, a favor. Nothing big, just minor favor that you
Proceed.
deliver upon me any unique items you find. You deliver on me to me with the understanding that I may buy them for you for a reasonable price. Should I refuse them, or should we not be able to come to an agreement, you are welcome to do with them what you like.
Mm-hmm.
But should you refuse out of spite or out of worry or anything else other than your own greed, then a sanction will be put upon you. This deal will last for a year and a day. Should you break the terms of the agreement, your life will be offered up instead.
She
Does
will
this seem
nod.
fair? Very well. Place your hand upon the sword, and we will begin.
She will put her hand on the sword.
Say your name.
Alex.
He'll gesture to you and go, "Is that your whole name?"
She shakes her head.
Very well. Like shakes her head as in nods, or shakes her head as in no.
No. It's a no.
No?
My name, my real whole name is Alexina Axelrod.
You're very well. State your whole name.
Alexina Axelrod.
And states of sound mind and of clear head. She swears upon the weird to Perrin, Voltrix. She swears in upon the sword before her, tying into the dreams and the weird. She swears to deliver upon me the option to buy any items she should present, come into contact with, anything of mystical or supernatural persuasion. Should she refuse for any other reason besides greed or desire for her to keep the items for herself, the pact will be broken. In addition, she will grant upon me a small portion of her dream for me to hold within my own, a shard, for me to shape with the weird, do as I wish. In return, I invest upon her. I grant her powers beyond her normal capability. I will let her grow. I will see to her. I will see the weird shape and dreams shape them to powers that might better help her pursue upon her hunt. This contract will last for a year and a day. Should it be broken, should Alex fail to deliver upon her promise, should her powers be stripped, the contract will cease and her life will be forfeit. Do you agree, Alex?
I do.
And I, Perrin Voltrek, agree. The sword seems to glow, and you hear rustling of leaves as the vines seem to twist in an invisible wind. You instantly lose 4 willpower points.
Mm-hmm.
I seem to be drained of something as well. Then it's over. And you feel a little bit more strong. a little bit more powerful. But Perrin seems to have an aura about him now. As you just look upon into yourself and discover the nightmares you have chosen. Perrin will sigh, tilt his head back and forth, and go, "It is done. I hope you are happy with this deal."
It was a fair deal as far as I understood. They say they were
With the
making
weird,
deals.
everything should be fair. The weird is always about equal exchange. The exchanges don't always make sense, but they are always. Pauses for a second, tilts his head and goes, "Fair." He will
Once, that's fair.
take the sword and slip it into one of the drawers
Mm-hmm.
and lock the display drawer so it's sitting there, nice and shiny. And there seems to be something more to it now. And he'll say, "It's always nice to get an oath weapon out of a deal."
What's an oath weapon?
A token. When you swear enough deals upon a token like this sword, it will take upon a portion of the weird and develop its own unique abilities. It is a great way to harvest stuff. Fortunately, I believe for now, with the weird in this has not been so established. It'll need time to congregate. This is only the first oath that has been sworn upon this sword. If I wish to make it a truly powerful weapon, many more oaths need to be sworn.
Alex nods.
Complicated, I know.
Strange, but I understand.
By the way, the longer you stand here,
Mm-hmm.
the more, how should I put it, attractive
Yeah.
Perrin seems to be becoming.
Yeah, she has. He has the advanced thing.
Yep.
The Alex will say, "I think I should leave."
No? You don't want to stay for a cup of tea?
No, you are hurting my eyes. You're too insane to look at.
Looks at himself, goes, "That's the first I've ever heard." Very well.
Yeah.
I'll see you later.
I see you later, handsome, she says with a smile.
He'll just raise an eyebrow as you walk off
Yeah.
and shakes his head
She's like, "What the fuck was that?"
before he'll walk back into his own gets up, walks to the back, shutting the door after he sees you off. The scene will end with him walking into the back of the warehouse and checking on what seems to be a body on a slab that is covered in a white sheet. And we'll end there. Thank you, players, for playing. Thank you, listeners, for listening. This has been another session of San Francisco by Night. Bye.